What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, Spiritual Hype Man. Super happy to be back, and I'm here sitting next to the man, the myth, the legend, Josh Johnson. Okay, if you don't know who Josh Johnson is, good friend of mine. Also, the man here out in the St. Augustine area, all of Northeast, I would say, providing help to people in terms of law.
That's the goal.
That's right, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Just remember, if you're not having a good day, it's just thoughts in your head. We got to learn how to change the prompts. We got to learn how to ask ourselves different questions. Sometimes it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And when those days are upon us, I just say go biohack. So do some push-ups, jumping jacks, jump in the ice bath, do something physical, and it'll help you sort of move past that.
I agree.
Even though sometimes fucking hard. So Josh, thanks for being here.
Of course.
Usually the way we start is I'd love to know who you are, like what you do now, who you are now, and then we go backwards. We go back to your life story to figure out how did you get here, right? How did you get to being where you are right now at this point?
Okay, so who I am now, I am a Christian first.
Okay.
A father, a husband. I'm a personal injury attorney, so I help car accident victims recover. And I mean, I'm just a blessed man in this point in my life. That's pretty much it.
That's right.
Living the dream. Yeah, that's
super blessed.
I got two beautiful kids.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at here in beautiful St. Augustine.
Cool. And so for most people, like, there's going to be probably new listeners just because you're on the show, obviously, and you're a big deal around here.
At least two new listeners.
so for the two new listeners, I just want to break down the mindset, like, of what nothing changes until you do. It's really just a philosophy of, there's a couple things. Identifying the moments, right, throughout life, like situations or outcomes, really they're outcomes that we're not happy with in life, and then figure out how do we get there, and then how do we change those things, right? So for me, like all life is just a bunch of situations that we go from one situation to another, and we make these decisions in these situations that ultimately over a long period of time accumulate to being what your life becomes, right? And so for me, I've not recently, like, it's been years of like figuring this out, reflecting on it, but understanding that like influence creates thoughts, right? Thoughts then drive emotion. That emotion then triggers or drives an action or inaction, and then those actions then create the outcome. Okay. So if you're not happy with the outcome, then the idea would be to then start reverse engineering and figuring out
changing that process.
What's that process? What was the influence? What was the thought? What was the emotion? How do I change these things so if this thing comes again, this situation, because a lot of situations throughout life become cyclical.
Yeah.
Right? So like if it comes back again, how do we make a different decision? How do we change that influence? How do we change that thought and then that emotion to make something different?
Yep.
Does that hit?
No, that hits. I mean, essentially what you're saying is if you don't like your destination, change your roadmap.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. No, so I couldn't agree more with that. I think there's always those illustrations that show up on social media where it's like, choose the easy path, hard life, choose the hard path, easy life, or, you know, and whatever.
Yeah.
I think that the game of chances come in, like you said. Like there's things you can control, there's things you can't control. If you control the things you can to the best of your ability and let the rest fall where they may, you have a better chance of succeeding. But there's I guess there's traps for everybody. You can do 99% of things right and not reach that dream of yours because you stepped into one pitfall.
Yeah.
But I think you definitely raise your chance of success.
Yeah, I like it. No, that's valid. I like it. Especially if you can identify it.
If you can identify
and that's where I think the levels of change too come in. Because like for me, I feel like there's three levels of change. One, you're unaware of it, and you're just doing it. You're just living whatever you're living. You're reacting. You're acting the way whatever you know.
No one's telling you. No one told you, or you refuse to listen.
Exactly. Level two, you start understanding or realizing like there's something that needs to change because I don't like my outcome. I don't like the feeling that I'm feeling right now. And then level three is like you've actually made the change and you sustained it. And I've always said like once you get to a level three, you have to learn how to sustain it because just because you hit the home run once, right, doesn't mean that you're going to be hitting the home run all the time until you like work on it enough that you know 8 out of 10 times you're going to hit this home run. And so I feel like it's the same thing with change. Like if you don't, like if you're at level one, then you need to fall, fail, and feel. Right? Level two is more of feel and understand that you can get to that level 3 and then reinforcing that positive change at level 3 and understanding, giving yourself a little bit of grace that like, okay, once you've gotten to level 3, you know that it's going to take a little bit of work to sustain it, and you may revert back to level 2, but don't lose hope and keep on the right path.
Yep. No, I like that. I think you hit it on the head, but the hard part is just getting to level 1 even for people to acknowledge where they went wrong.
Yeah.
So I guess a little bit back into my roadmap is kind of diving back where I come from. I'm from the inner city in Tampa. And not many people make it out of there like that. Like there's not many success stories where I'm from. Yeah. And so you can see these mindsets that are built into people, and a lot of it's a developed ignorance through generations.
Influence, right?
Yeah, through influence by family, friends, a community, a hood.
Yeah.
They kind of put it in their mind that you can't get out or there's no escape from here, and then it just trickles down. So it then turns to that rock hard ignorance of not even to be able to acknowledge that level 1. Hey, here's the problem, address it, work towards changing it, sustain the change.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that first level into, I would say, like 60% of our population, because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to say I'm wrong. It's hard enough to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So to say that I'm wrong, that's a different level.
Yeah.
And then to hear it from someone else. And a lot of people aren't even hearing it. That's the other problem. The people in those communities where I'm from, they're not even hearing what you're doing is bad, wrong, or here's how you can change it. It never even breaks that. So how can you break a pattern that you are unaware of?
Yeah, or not conscious of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's where, like, going back to me, it's like it took me a minute, because I was very similar, like in terms of just some destructive decisions that I've made.
Yeah.
Where it was just habit. It was just like a reactive, this is what my life was. But I think you have to get to a point where, yes, someone can say it to you, but I think until you feel it.
Yeah.
Right. So like, let's break down like your influence growing up. What was that like, as far as how did you become the person that got out of that? Like, what was your influence growing up? How did that matriculate to the decisions you've made to get you to where you are now, to
I mean,
being the man that you are, the success that you are, knocking on some knocking on some next level shit. So like,
so if we go all the way back, so growing up inner city, I have 5 siblings as well, so we have a large family. So that sibling rivalry, that competitive edge was built into the home. I have an older brother, I have younger brothers. My dad was a huge influence. We didn't have much. He was an inner city pastor, so not much money in that, and it was more of a sacrifice. But even though we didn't have it, he never told us we couldn't get it. So remember I told you, like, that message not reaching the hood, that you can get out.
Yeah.
My dad would tell us, like, hey, we live here, but we don't belong here. This is just what I choose for our family. And he would always tell, hey, if you're gonna be a garbage man, be the best garbage man. If you're gonna be a teacher, be the best teacher. But you can be more, you can be whatever you want. So that really motivate. I mean, even though you're in it, like we were in the mess.
Yeah.
Like our electricity was off every other month. Our main course of meal was tuna and crackers, like daily.
Yeah.
I can remember tuna and crackers. I can taste it right now because we had it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's something that you don't need electricity to cook.
Right.
If we had electricity, we were making toast, so like, we're in it. And we didn't know anything else. Like I didn't know past that really, besides what my dad would tell us. We weren't allowed to go in other people's houses, so I didn't know outside of my trailer, other than my floorless trailer. But he would tell us, like, hey, you can do these great things. And I believed him. Yeah. I think that's what really pushed me out. He would tell me, hey, you can be great. Yeah. And I'd be like, all right, well, you said it. So, and my dad didn't accept less. So like, if you got a C, you got spanked. Yeah. So it was on a roll, or you were gonna be rolling on the floor. So you had no choice. So he expected greatness, even though in our situation it didn't seem too great. Right. Where we were as a kid, you have less than other people. Right. But we never settled for that. He didn't allow us to settle for that. So a life-changing moment for me, I was homeschooled all the way through 8th grade. I go to school in the 8th grade, and I started playing football. My dad wouldn't let me play tackle football until I was 13. So I started playing tackle football in the 8th grade, and I'm about 100, maybe 100 pounds. And the weight limit for my team was up to 185, right? And I just started playing tackle. Growing up in the hood, though, we threw throwback tackle every day. Right. So first time in pads, and my dad comes out, and there's this big old boy, huge. He was the weight limit, 185.
Yeah.
His name was Antonio. I still remember his name.
Wait, how old are you again?
We're 12, 13. It's a 12,
God,
13-year-old.
12, 13,
185. He was,
Christ.
and they all knew him. Like, he was the man here for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm scared. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, this dude's huge compared. He's double my size.
Yeah,
And he's a grown man. He was our running back, our
12 years
linebacker. He
old.
was a stud.
Yeah.
So my dad, we're doing Oklahoma's. It's the first day of hitting, and you know, I'm not volunteering to go up there. This is my first day in pads.
Yeah.
So my dad calls me over to the fence and he goes, hey, you see number 1 over there? Antonio, the biggest boy out there. He goes, I want you to call him out. And I was like, what? Dad, you crazy. Like, my dad could be a jokester, so I'm like, all right, you're joking, Dad. He's like, I'm not kidding. I want you to go over there. As soon as this timeout's over, you call number 1 out and you hit him right here, and you hit him as hard as you can. Cut him in half. I said, you want me to go back over there and hit that big boy? He said, yeah, go back over there, hit that boy, put him on his head. At that point, my dad's kind of convinced me that I can do whatever he tells me I can do. So I said, okay, if you tell me I can do that, you haven't lied to me yet, so I'm gonna go try.
Yeah.
We come back from the timeout. I said, they're Oklahoma. I said, Coach, I'll take on Antonio, and the whole team's like, he's crazy. He's crazy. And on this team, I'm the lightest skinned kid, you know, so they're crazy, boy, that white boy crazy. So I was, all right, you know, and so we line up, and in my head, I'm thinking, so Oklahoma's, your back, both players are on the ground, on their backside, about 10, 15 yards, get up, and one has the ball, one hitting. He had the ball, I was hitting, because he was our running back.
Yeah.
So I'm on the ground right there, and I'm like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
Dad said I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Pop up, whistle blows. I hit this boy here. I remember he goes airborne, and I slam him on his head, and the ball goes stumbling off, and everyone went nuts. At that moment, I realized I can do anything I wanted. To run it back, everybody was shook. He goes, run it back, run it back. It was too late.
Yeah.
I already figured it out.
Yeah.
I already know I own you.
Yeah.
I happily laid back down. I said, run it back. Lay back down, and I hit him even harder the second. Back up again. Wow! Put him back on his head, and at that moment, I said, oh, okay. I can do whatever I want. And for real, that was the moment in my life where like I was like, oh, shoot. I can do something. And it wasn't just the football thing. I took that into anything.
No. So, yeah, that
was my breakthrough moment.
Yeah, so like to just unpack that or deconstruct that, like that is huge.
Yeah.
Right? Like one, the influence of your dad, right? Of your dad just being able to say like, you can do whatever the fuck you want, go do it. And then to push you into it.
Yeah, like the birds they push off the cliff.
To push you
That's
into
what it was.
And then to have the faith or the belief or, you know, whatever it is, like you said, in terms of like, you haven't lied to me now, so you've done it and you're at this point, like, if it were opposite, or not even opposite, let's just talk about Antonio.
Yeah.
Right? So like, what happened to Antonio?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, this is.
I don't know what happened. That could have been the turning point of his life.
Right? That's what I'm saying. So like, it's these things where it's like, you think about that, it's a huge, and I feel like also not only mentally that you probably like locked in, you're like, all right, I can fucking do whatever.
Yeah.
I think those moments, especially like because it's like the way you express it. I think it's deep down in your fucking genetic, like your gene. It's like a download.
It's in my heart.
To your heart, your body, your muscle, your soul. Right? Like there's nothing stopping you.
Nothing.
And how old were you at that point?
I was 12 and a half, 13.
Yeah. So you've already been set for life.
Yeah, that was the moment.
Yeah. And did you know at that time, or were you?
As soon as that happened, when the first hit happened, and it all registered. He didn't lie to me. He told me I could do this. This kid's double my size. I just made.
And you got the.
And everyone
right? So
went nuts. Like the super hot fire where he jumps back in. The whole beat me on the head, and I knew it was. Yeah, bro, that was it. That was that's a moment I'll never forget because it was a defining moment for me.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, there's nothing I can't do.
And then
I just did whatever I wanted. I in high school, I got up to benching 385 pounds. I weighed 185 at the most.
Jesus.
I became unbelievably strong. Like I was lifting weights that didn't make sense.
Yeah, right.
Because I knew because I just told myself I can. Like why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was. I ran faster than I ended up running a 4.3. Because why not?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
I ran a 4.6. I got the proper training with our track coach, JR Hallworth. Amazing.
Shout out to JR.
Shout out to JR. king of speed.
Yeah.
And I knew I could do it because I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
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 It's crazy.
That's sweet, bro. That's a great.
Yeah, but I still lived in that though. So the rest of my childhood, I was still in that not the mess, but like the grind. We were still down there in the mud. It was crazy because I didn't put myself on a higher pedestal or nothing. I just knew what I could be. So I didn't never picture myself as dirt or rock in the mud. I was a gem in the mud. Like I'm a diamond in the rough. I'm down here. I just got to get out. That was my mentality.
Was that something that like you had every day you woke up?
Yeah,
like
man.
every day you went into bed, you're like fuck, and every time you woke up, it's like I'm gonna fucking get this shit out. I'm gonna get out of here.
Bro, if you call my siblings, my grandma, my mom, my dad, I would do 500 push-ups a night, 500 sit-ups a night. I would up it if I felt good. Do it in the morning. Yeah, I just became. Yeah, bro. If you ask my siblings, I wouldn't come home from school. So I would stay after school, I'd do baseball, I'd run track, I'd lift weights, and I'd come home at night, and I would do it every day because...
Eat your tuna and crackers.
Eat my tuna and crackers. You know they're waiting up for me. I had the tuna and crackers, man. Yeah, man. And then I had friends in high school. I had some more influences, like you said. Yeah. It was my best friend Blake, his mom, Diane, Big D.
Shout out to Big D.
Big D. Shout out Big D. That's my second mom right there. Yeah. Man, she was a single mom. My best friend, they had this beautiful home, and her story, she had a baby at 16, my best friend Blake, bro, and they live in this beautiful home. She's self-made, made all this money, put her kids through college, and to see someone like that, so flip the scale, it's not me, it's a single mom who had a baby at 16, and now this successful woman. Anything's possible. It's possible then. You're showing me that this is not just a self-belief that I have. You had that same belief. You had to have. Because to get to where you are now, from where you were, you just know you can do anything. And that was another motivator. When I got to high school and I saw her, now Blake's a double doctor. He's a licensed pharmacist. He's in Washington in the radiology. He works for the ER in University of Washington.
Yeah, dude, influence is huge.
It's crazy.
Influence is huge. I feel like influence is the first. It's the step one.
You have to get to step one.
Yeah. Influence is huge. And I feel like, man, good for you. You know, good for you. Do you think, well, hypothetically, the question is like, would life have been this way if you didn't start there, right? Like, that's where I think, you know.
I don't know. Like, if that moment never happened, man.
Yeah. Or even just the way you started.
Yeah.
Well, because, right, I think there's so many, it's a butterfly effect.
It's a butterfly effect. You take away any of those, you take away the situation I grew up, and you put me somewhere, you put me in Beverly Hills, no, I don't have the mindset that I do. Yeah. Because I was there. There's not a bottom in America. I mean, you're in some third world country. Yeah, there's bottom. There's lower than where I was. Yeah. But there's not a bottom in America that was lower than where we were. Yeah. My dad is a black Republican, so we didn't take any government aid. So we were poorer than the poorest that were getting Medicaid and everything and food stamps, but my dad wouldn't accept any of that. Right. So we were just wearing it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were just wearing it in the fire. So like, I didn't want that misconception about that. Oh, well, the government was pushing them. No, bro, my dad wouldn't accept it. So when tuna and crackers was his money that we were buying tunas and crackers with. And the electricity was off because we didn't have any money.
So most recently, I saw one of your stories where I think it was like a pastor or something shared about like what it is to be a man to provide. Is that where that comes from as well? Like, do you feel some sort of way? Do you feel like dad should have provided more, and or now like understanding and reflecting on it, is it more of like if he didn't provide that, or at least to that extent, it wouldn't have shaped the influence that you have in terms of like the drive to get the fuck out of that?
Yeah. So
like how do you
we actually talk about that all the time because I have 5 siblings. No, with my brothers and sisters and then my wife and stuff, and we there's definitely worse situations. I have my mom and dad, you know. There's people that they don't have a mom or dad. There's kids are being. I watch a lot of Forensic Files and like Law and Order and stuff.
Well, you're a lawyer.
Yeah. Well, but again, even before that.
Again, if you are suffering in a
car accident, give me a call. But even before that, because I was always intrigued by these wild stories where people's lives are changed forever, killed, murdered, raped, kidnapped, sex traded, sex slave, and it's not me. Yeah. It's not me. It's not someone that I love. And I'm thinking that could be, why that girl was just walking in the street in Orlando. She didn't know she was getting kidnapped. Yeah. So my childhood, we talk about it, could have been better. Yeah, I mean, but who's couldn't, right? Who's couldn't have been better? Did my dad? I think my dad thought he did what was best in that moment. I'm thankful for it because where I am now, I talk to other attorneys who've only been, I went to Stetson Law, Stetson College of Law,
Shout out
and South Stetson, a great program down there. My class was 92% at least second generation attorneys. Okay, so that means 92% of my either their parents, uncle, somebody was an attorney. I didn't have that, so I fell into that 8%. But when you talk to them, you know that they're from that 92%,
Right?
Because they can't associate with you. There's a class level that they can't associate with. You made less than $250,000 in your lifetime. They can't talk to you. They can't associate with you. They can't empathize with you. And that has allowed me to shine in my industry, my childhood. So would I change it? I changed something. I changed some things, but
something to tuna and crackers.
yeah, like can I have some bologna? But other than that, no, man, it was different. It's a childhood that I don't know anyone has ever experienced something like we grew up in, because it was different. We had homeless people live with us all the time. My dad would take in. My dad took in this dude fresh out of prison. In our trailer. So there's 8 of us, my 6 siblings, my parents.
That's crazy.
Then we brought in a homeless man who stayed with us he was a felon. He came out after 5 years, spent 2 years with us. He left. My dad brought in a former prostitute who's trying to change her life. She stayed with us for 16 months. We had a special needs dude that stayed with us for 5 years. And this is in our limited resources. So no one's ever experienced that. I couldn't explain those situations to you. And I can't explain to you. You ever woke up to a prostitute sleeping on your couch? And she's not prostituting in your home. That's where she sleeps at night.
She's getting better, right?
And you have no electricity. We're both here. You could be under a bridge. I mean, but I guess you're on my couch.
Oh my God.
But that was it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Again, that's where I just double down on influence, man. Like if it weren't for all these things, I feel like it wouldn't have, the impact that it's created for you as the individual. Like even speaking to you the first time I met you, like there was something. It's again, and that's what I get. Like very similar. Like there's something about you.
Yeah, likewise.
There is something about you where it's like you have such an ability to connect to all these different individuals and people in a way that like makes them feel seen, and understood and respected. And that's probably why you fucking are doing amazing within the just the business vertical.
And it becomes it's natural because it isn't because I don't know any better. I grew up with the hood rats. Now I'm dining with I show up to events and I'm like, I don't belong here.
Friend of proper rats.
Yeah, I had an industry lunch yesterday, and I wear my hat everywhere. And I walk in, they go, take your hat off. I'm like, where am I? What type of place is this? It was so fancy. I had to take my hat off. I was like, it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
But
last one. You got any tuna and crackers?
Yeah, the tuna tartare. Is that on crackers? Man, that's it.
That's cool, man. Good. Awesome. All right. And so what do you? All right. So let's talk about a little bit about now, like in terms of where you are now.
Yeah.
What's the biggest struggle that you're kind of going through right now, or, if that's not the right vocabulary, but like
no, I guess like it'd be time.
Okay.
Not having enough time.
Okay.
So I don't want to be away from my kids at all. Period. And how can you be a successful business person?
Right.
Spend all the time with your kids and your wife. I want to do it all.
Yeah.
I want to be the best husband. I want to be the best father. I want to be our most present father. I want to be the best lawyer I can be. So 24 hours just isn't enough time, and you sleep for 8 of them. So that's the biggest struggle. And then probably pulling off the brakes, putting the brakes on a little bit. I go 100 miles per hour. I give everything I have to everything, and maybe that I burn out a little bit that way.
And mentally, physically, emotionally, how do you burn out?
I think it comes in waves. Like I left it. I've been out of the gym. I don't leave the gym. I've been consistent in the gym for the past 20 years.
Right.
But the past 2 weeks I've been out the gym.
Because I
gotta get back in. I gotta get back in. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't miss like that. So, but it's been so much of a drive to be the best father and husband I can be right now in businessman. Because the fourth quarter, we're trying to close. We're trying to help a lot of our clients go into a new year with better lives.
Yeah.
So that's where my focus has been. But I know I can't neglect myself. I got to get back in the gym.
Yeah.
So it waves. And then there's times where I can get my business set up to where I have my other attorneys now, and I can take a small step back. I never want to give up that family time. That's where I try not to sacrifice that last.
Yeah.
But there are times where, I even have to pull that towards the business, because long term, my goal is more time with my family. If I can be there more when I'm 40 rather than 65, where most people are having to retire, that's what I'm building for. I want to be with my family.
Okay.
Yeah. So time is the hardest thing.
How old are your kids?
My kids are 3. My daughter Jalen, and then my son Jojo is Josh Jr. So I was called Jojo growing up, and it's Jojo, and so now when we spell we just put little J's, little J, little O, little J, little O, so it's baby Jojo.
Nice. How old is he?
He's 1. And you want to hear something else? So, bro, I mean, crazy things happen in my life sometimes where, like, leading up into this moment.
Yeah.
My son's one of them. So I prayed, and I was like, God, I would love a blue-eyed baby. I would love a blue-eyed baby. That would be crazy if I had a blue-eyed baby. And I was just like throwing it up there. I was like, God, if you got a blue-eyed baby up there, go ahead and launch one down. And my baby, Jojo, man, he's the most. Both my babies are gorgeous, but man, he got these big blue eyes. Yeah, man. So
he's winning.
I'm like, thank God, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. So the thought you're gonna just. You get a mold, right? So idea is that, like, you have a couple of years to get to that age where you actually have the mind has developed enough for them to start understanding, right? Certain ways. I'm sure they're already doing it now.
Jalen's so smart. Yeah. No, every day. So we already have them singing, children's Christian songs. We got Jalen loves Christmas music as well. Yeah, man. We're just trying to mold them mentally, and then my daughter's in little soccer school. So that's fun. That's fun to see. Yeah, bro. My wife's a Division I athlete, or was a Division I athlete as well. She plays professional slow pitch softball. Shout out to Kaylin, best baller I know.
Let's go.
So I mean, and she has a master's as well. So she's very well educated. She's highly accomplished in her own regard. We're hoping that we made something crazy. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Good for you guys.
My daughter's already shown some of the brains. She's very smart, and then my son, 1 year old, he's strong. He can push over chairs and stuff. He's crazy.
Well, Dad was doing 500 push-ups.
That's it. I'm gonna get him on those. 12 years old, start pushing.
Yeah, you're like, hey, son, you see that guy over there? I want you to go tackle.
Go get him.
Yeah. All right, and then so growing up influence, obviously that was a driver. Same thing in terms of sports. So that carried over. And then obviously you started off with saying being Christian and being big in faith. Yeah. I feel like that, so like on a macro level, I feel like faith is whether it's Christianity or whatever, it's basically, to me, a group of people that support each other and hold each other not only accountable, but hold each other, like help each other
follow the roadmap.
Yeah. It's a roadmap. And kind of feel good. Yeah. Like feel good about who you are, what you're doing. And for me, like I haven't done, like I grew up with like going to a bunch of different churches. Okay. And it was always just like, nah.
You don't know, you don't feel like you fit in.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to church. I'm not going to CCD. I'm not going to this, like, but I've been realizing more and more, not necessarily that I want to go to a church, but I've realized that like that's, I think, something that I'm lacking, is that group of, whether it's unified thought, but then hearing or seeing the sport, or being, like, I've been to church, like Patty will try to, she'll want to go on Sundays and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm like, sure, I'll when I feel like going, I'll be like, I'll go with you. Yeah. So I've felt that as far as like when you're part of a community and there's something that you're singing or talking about, there's like an energy to it. Yeah. I'm trying to find more of that. I'm trying to find more of, whether it's spirituality or faith. Tell me a little bit of how that influences you, or your perspective on your faith, and where did that come from, and how does that help you in time of need or in general?
I think you hit it right on the head. I think that it's that roadmap. It's that common goal to where someone can pull you back on track. Mm-hmm. So if you're walking your own race and no one else, and you don't have a roadmap with someone else, you don't have that walking buddy. I think in elementary school and stuff, they give you a walking buddy. Yeah. So no one gets lost. Yeah. Well, the faith is that walking buddy. If you follow it's Christianity, because there's not anything preached in my religion that's hatred towards anyone. It's all, if you follow these things, your life will be good. It's a recipe for success. Yeah. I go to Reverb Church. Shout out to Reverb Church
Shout out to
in
Reverb.
World Golf. They're amazing. They have a great men's group. And so what I really thrive from in that church is the men's group. The men's group is literally a collective group of men that share their thoughts, share their stories from their past history. One of the craziest stories, there's a young man in my group, I think he's 26, 24, 26. His dad died when he was 16 or 14, and it wrecked him. His dad was his best friend, right? And this is a group of like 250 men. You break up into like groups of 15.
Yeah.
He's in my group. And the group leader goes, hold on. You know, he's talking about how depressed he is, how depressed he's been for the past 10 years. Yeah. And the pastor goes, okay, I want you to meet somebody. There's another man in our group, but he's in a separate small group, and his dad died when he was 10. And he was in that depression for 20-something years. Jeez. And they become best friends. So there's this 48-year-old man, this 24-year-old kid, and the message he had for him was, I've been there. I walked that path already. It's not one you want to walk. I've been through it. I've walked the whole world in your shoes. Yeah. You don't want to be in those shoes. Yeah. They're best friends now. The kid, you can see a glow in this kid that was never there just from having that partner pulling him back on the roadmap. Because if your parent dying like that can pull you to somewhere dark. And he literally admitted to the group, I'm in that dark place right now. Made the introduction within our church and pulled him right back on the roadmap. Yeah. So Christianity to me, it's everything. It gives a purpose. There's an ending to this story. There's a beginning to it as well. Yeah. And again, it kind of goes back to when I realized I can do anything. Well, obviously I didn't create myself, so I thank God for the gifts and the opportunities and those. Remember I told you can do 99% things right and make one false mistake and fall.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my 1% is.
Yeah, right. No, it could have been anything, but you could think about those times where the cop pulled around you and got the person in front of you, but you might have been drunk. Yeah. You know, I know time in college where I was doing something stupid, but it wasn't me that got caught. Yeah. You know, and I don't know how to do it, but I thank God for those moments because that could have been the one step that pulled me out of it. I had to make a lot of right decisions to get to where I am now, like a lot. If I had the option of choosing right and wrong, I chose right 99% of the time because I had to. When you start down there, you got to make a lot of right decisions, and too many bad decisions or influences are in your face. So yeah, that and then faith always allowed me to make that right decision.
Were you connected to faith? Well, obviously because your dad was a pastor. So was that throughout?
Yeah, from the beginning.
You question it, like, why am I fucking here and why am I in this situation, or was it?
Man, you know, I don't think I've ever questioned because God's been good to me, and I also put myself in other people's shoes and think I can see why they would question God. I just think there's just too many things have to go right for there not to be. I don't know. Just for me and you standing here, two different beings, having two different thoughts, you're thinking something completely different than I am right now. Yeah. There's no way that there's not a greater being that created this. Yeah. So I never questioned that. If you're a real person, if you're real with yourself. Yeah. How? Yeah. How's your heart beating right now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How your brain thinking something different? We're not mechanical. This isn't everyone got a Toyota Corolla. Like, you know, that alone.
Tesla.
Yeah.
So I'm driving.
Yeah, bro. But that's what it is to me. I always pull myself back and I go, there's just no way. There's no way. I didn't create that, the ocean and stuff. There has to be something greater than all of us. So that I never questioned the faith because of that. And if I'm going to choose, I'm going to choose a faith that aligns with, hey, walk this path. There's nothing on this roadmap here that will lead you astray. The roadmap looks clear to me. All right, this is the one I follow.
Do you have any anger or resentment towards like your luck of the draw lottery growing up?
No. Again, there's moments where, you know, I'm like, man, it could have been better. Yeah. So like personally, I mean, I was a heck of an athlete. There's no reason why I shouldn't have been playing in the bigs, either NFL or MLB. But we didn't have money. So like to get exposure, you have to go to camps. Camps cost $1,000. You got to go to camps. So all these kids being rated top 100, ESPN, top 100. Because you went to camps from the time you were 8 years old. You have no choice but to rank you on the maps. Having the parent that my dad tried his best with the sports, but he gave what he could. Again, maybe it wasn't the cards for me. I thank God for that. Maybe it wasn't the cards for me to be a professional athlete. Maybe that would have took me down the path of sexual immortality. Maybe I would have had kids out of wedlock and a bunch of girlfriends and had no money because I had all the money. I'm not, who knows? The influences. Where have I been? What if I'm in the locker room with Tyreek Hill? And he's talking about all the girls he's, doing whatever with. I'm like, I got money too. So, there might have been a glimpse of resentment sometimes. And then I sit back and I thank God and go, no, I got the best woman in the world. I got my dream family, live my dream life.
Dream team.
Yeah, so how far can I go with that? So no concrete resentment on anything.
Cool. So you are human though.
Yeah, I'm human. I am human. No, obviously I had setbacks. I had setbacks. So I snapped my knee in half in law school my 1L year. That was devastating. That was a very low moment for me.
How'd you deal with that mentally?
That was hard. That was really hard because when my scar is that long. So most people think ACL. I tore everything in here. This whole thing was snapped. Correct. So, and I was fast my entire life. I was known for being fast. Josh is fast as fast. I didn't know anyone faster than me. I'd race you for money. I made a lot of money racing people, just straight cash. So
you're I show speed before I show speed.
Yeah, bro, because I'm in the hood. I grew up in the hood, and I'm light skinned. So they go, hey, white boy, you think you fast? And I'm bigger. They go, oh, you think you're fast? I go, no, I know I'm fast. How much you want to put on it? And we'd race, and I'd get my money. I'd show me the money first. Show me the money. All right, give it to this dude. Let's race. And I collect my cash. But when I lost my knee, I felt like the Flash lost his power. That's what it felt like. Something my strongest. My reputation, who I was taken from me. So that I felt like I lost a part of my identity a little bit in that. And then similar, when I tore my rotator, I was playing independent baseball in Washington, and when I popped my rotator, I was an athlete my entire life. I didn't know anything but being an athlete. But I popped my rotator in the game at 7 p.m. I was on a flight at 5 a.m. the next morning home, and it wasn't home. I didn't want to go home because home is power out trailer. So I flew into Jacksonville with my older brother, and he housed me for a year, let me wallow in it for like 6 months, and he was like, yo, you got to get up and do something. But that was probably the lowest moment of my life was when I popped my shoulder, because there was no plans to go to law school. There's no lawyers in my family. I have the highest education. So when I popped my arm, I was like, this is it. I'm done. I didn't want to go to college out of high school. If I wasn't playing a sport, I wasn't going to go to college. I don't like school. I hate school. I hated it. But my dad loved it. So he would give me high fives for good grades. All right, well, good grades isn't that hard to get. You're going to give me a high five? I'll take a high five.
Yeah, better than a low five.
Better than a low five to the butt. Low five with a paddle or a belt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, so when that happened, that was the lowest. That maybe where I had some thoughts.
Yeah, take me through that a little bit.
Well, first I was upset. The draft didn't go the way I expected.
Right, because you had an expectation. Right? You're like,
I got letters from every MLB team during our draft or during our scout day.
Damn.
I hired an agent that wasn't the appropriate agent. So, the agent I hired was at the time advisor while you're in college. He already represented free agents and like big names like Jorge Posada, Melky Cooper. He had big names, so he kind of lost touch of the draft prospect of it, and it screwed me. We got calls, he turned them down. I got calls again, he turned them down.
Damn.
And he was like, "Don't worry, we'll just get him next year." That was my junior year. You get drafted as a junior. Nobody wants you as a senior. You have no choice. And that was devastating in and of itself. And then leading into going through my senior year and then tearing my rotator, that's when I knew I was like, I will never be a professional baseball player.
And by that's huge. By getting calls from teams, right?
Bro, they were there. They personally shook my hand, gave me letters saying, "Hey, expect a call from us." And I'm filling out all these pro letters. We went to the locker room after pro day, and I have a stack. Literally every MLB team left me a letter, and there's like 2 other letters in the locker room. I have 30-something letters in my locker room, and there's like a couple of my teammates got a couple.
Jeez.
Yeah, and so that was. You ever seen those videos on social media where they don't tell you what it's like to go from this? It shows like a football player hitting somebody or a baseball player hitting a home run and then they're behind a computer or they're digging a ditch. That was that moment where I go, what happens now? But my older brother, I haven't talked about him enough. He has always been that walking buddy. Hey, come back on the path. Come back. Hey, you're down. Okay, here. I'll feed you while you're down there, but you got to get up. And he would always pulled me back up. So my older brother was a huge influence.
Shout out to your older brother.
Shout out to Mike. Yeah,
Nice.
he's always been that magnet of pulling you back up. So he let me, stayed with him for free. Let me just wallow in it for 6 months. I literally was depressed.
Yeah.
I didn't know what depression was up until that point. Even though I lived in a depressed environment, right? I didn't know what depression was. I thought that was fake. I was like, man, these people with depression, what are you depressed about? Yeah. And then something as little as injury depressed me. You know, there's obviously a lot more things that are depression people. And it took a lot to get out of that.
Oh, it was more than an injury.
It was my dreams
your
coming
dream,
to an
yeah,
absolute
your mindset and
crush.
expectation of where you were destined to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was taken. Right. So, that was I had a professional team call me out of Puerto Rico shortly after that, and I remember they were like, hey, we want to offer you a contract. I said, I'm retired. And they go, no, Josh, we're going to pay you to play. I said, I'm retired. Can't you hear me? I think I was talking my left hand because my arm was hurt. I said, I'm retired. And a tear came down because I'm retired because I can't throw. What do you want me to do? Yeah. But again, that was a turning point.
Right,
That's where I had to look. My brother pulled me up. I had to look myself in the mirror and go.
So take us through that. Like, what was his influence on you?
His influence was to get up because he was tired. He was digging ditches every day for the city, and he's like, "I'm not gonna keep sitting here digging ditches while you're laying on my couch doing nothing. I'm feeding you. I'm housing you. Get up and help out." Yeah. His wife was stationed in Japan at the time, so it kind of did help both of us that I was there. And so.
What was the moment that it clicked where you're like, yeah, you know what? Let me get the fuck up real quick. Let me just.
He told me. He said, "You got to get up." He goes, "You got to stop sitting here. I can't come home every day and you're just sitting there on the couch." And so I don't get fat. If I stop doing anything, I lose a lot lot of weight. Yeah. Yeah, I just
Where's Wilson?
Like right now I'm losing weight because I was in the gym for 2 weeks. Right. So yeah, where's Wilson? Yeah, so I was down weight, and he said get up and do something. So I joined the flag football team in Jacksonville. I built a friend community through that. I got back. I couldn't throw anymore, but I was still really fast. Yeah. So I ended up playing professional flag football for a little bit, and then I just entered the workforce. You want to hear something crazy? So to the listeners.
Yes, you want to hear something crazy. This is why we came.
Okay, so this is where the grind started, and I'm in Jacksonville. I'm trying to find. I don't know what to do now, but I need to get money, and I have money. I have money now, right? And a lot of my people don't, but a lot of people aren't willing to do what I did to get where I was. So, bro, I was giving blood. Plasma. Yeah. Bro, I have a scar here. Yeah. Bro, I was giving plasma.
Yeah.
Because I knew if I gave plasma 2 times a week, every week, that would be enough to pay for half my rent. And if I paid half my rent through my blood money and I Ubered Saturday and Sunday during the rush hours, I could pay for my electricity and the rest of my rent. And then I taught little kids from the age of 2 to 3. Yeah. Shout out to Playball, Martha.
Martha.
Martha hooked it up. I was getting paid $10 an hour to teach 2 to 5-year-olds. At the time, I hated kids. How to play sports. These kids are swinging hockey sticks at each other. So I'm giving blood.
Yeah. Ubering on the weekends.
Ubering all the night. If it was a night popping time in Jacksonville, so Jags games, nightlife, the beaches, I was working from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. driving random people. And then I was teaching these 2 to 5-year-olds how to play sports. And then I did baseball lessons independently. And that was it. I just grinded. I knew my worth was more than the $10 an hour at the little kids thing, but it's all I qualified for at the time. I had my degree, but that's all allowed me to move my schedule. And I gave blood. The most consistent thing out of all that was the giving of the blood. I'd be in there, people throwing up because they took too much blood or something. The girl would stab me like 4 times. I'm bleeding from everywhere for $50, right? And so people ask me, hey man, can I borrow this? I go, you giving blood? Can you borrow? How much you need? I need 100. They'll give you $100 if you go down there and give plasma 2 times a week. Right. No one's willing to do that. My wife, before she was my wife, I was using blood money. I call it blood money.
Yeah, I love it.
It came on the Octa Farmer card.
I love it,
and
bro.
I would show up she played at Mercer, so I drive up to Macon, Georgia. Okay. On my blood money and on my hustler money. And I didn't want her to know where I came from and what I didn't have anything, right? In her eyes, I'm a former ball player who did a great. I went to Canada because it was a big deal in Canada. Nice. And so she was like, "Oh, this stud." And then eventually, my blood money came dry, and I was like, "Hey, baby, listen, I don't got no money.
I got more plasma to give.
Yeah, I'm giving all my blood. I ain't got no more blood.
Yeah.
And she didn't hesitate. She was like, all right, well, my radiator blew on the way up to see her. And she was like, well, what can I do to help? And she was still in school. So I said, well, there's a blood bank right down the road. Like, if you're willing to give plasma with me, bro, this girl went to the plasma center with me in Macon, and we gave blood. We were giving, she gave blood for me to get a down payment on my car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
That's when you knew.
Bro, that's when I knew.
Yeah,
And then when people ask for money, I'm like, no, I gave my blood money.
Yeah.
My wife gave her blood money.
Yeah.
And you just want my money. You want my blood money.
Mm.
So that's one thing. That's another one of those lows of lows. If you're giving out your blood, it was a good cause. I have O negative blood, so anyone can use my plasma. And so they were begging me to come back, but it sucks. You're sitting there. They miss a lot. They're not heavily trained.
Yeah.
So
they're not trained by Celis Medical.
hey, shout
out to Lauren Ramirez, another sponsor of our show.
Yeah, shout out.
You know, if you need to be taught how to take blood for phlebotomy or CPR, make sure you reach out to Celis Medical Training.
Please do.
Yeah,
and teach the ones at the blood center
how to do it, dude. So then you're like, this is it. This is the one. This is the ride or die.
That's when I knew. Yeah, she did it. She didn't. When I told her I was broke, I thought that was gonna break it right there. I was like, hey, because I was fronting. I was paying for dinners and stuff, and then
I know where I got it. Like,
no, that's literally I was checking my blood account.
84,
I gave last Tuesday.
I'm good.
That money should have hit by now.
Yeah, run this one.
Yeah, when is that? I'll call Dr. Forma. When does the bonus blood hit? Okay, Tuesday. And hang up. But no, that was it. And she's been like that ever since. So like even as we're growing the firm now, we're 2 years, January 22nd. If we have to make a sacrifice, it starts in house. Yeah. So I go to my wife. I'm like, hey, Kaylin, right now we just ain't got it. We got to cut back. And she never gives me any lip. She's never like, oh, I'm not cutting back on me. She's never like that. Yeah. She's never been like that.
She's a team player.
She's a team player, bro.
She's a team player anyway, right? Yeah. So I wonder how much of that mindset too also comes into like understanding like what's good for the team is good for me.
It definitely plays. Being a team player, being an athlete. I like working with other athletes because you understand the concept of teamwork. I just had a lunch yesterday, the one I mentioned, and I told the provider, I said, hey, I'm looking for other doctors that are athletes. If they were former athletes, I'd choose them above anyone because they understand when I'm saying it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about this client. Yeah. It's the same concept of it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about this team. Yeah. If you understand that, then you understand this. So the team athletics, it goes a long way in life.
Fantastic.
Yeah, definitely with relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, and date night for me and my wife is Monday night softball. We go and play co-ed softball. Like, what's better than that? Watch your wife hit a home run, go get some shakes afterwards.
Yeah, I hear she's got more home runs than you.
Yeah, bro, she's a beast. on paper, she's better than I am. Okay. Because...
But in real life, no.
I beat her in real life. I can hit the ball harder.
I'll tell you, we got to do the home run derby.
So that was our second date. We did a home run derby at Ron Parker's field down the road. It's not a overly large field, but she thought I was gonna take it easy on her because she's a pretty girl, and I'm not, bro.
Smoke.
First of all, I don't lose. I don't like losing. I'll do anything not to lose. If it's your game, I want you to tell me the rules first so I can figure out how to beat you before we play. Yeah. We did like 6 different sports head to head.
Okay.
Yeah, I beat it all 6. She thought I was gonna kick the soccer ball by me. I was trying to put that ball through her. So, but she same mentality came back. Like she was going as hard as she could.
Great.
But and so on paper, she's better than I am because as a girl, she is better than 99% of girls. Yeah. There's a lot of talented guys.
Yeah, she's a top athlete.
She's premier. I'm premier as well, but there's a lot of premier guys. Yeah. And a lot of guys are on tests, so then they're like, wow. Yeah. Even if they weren't here, you get enough steroids in you. You're up there.
You're definitely performing.
Yeah, you're definitely doing something.
Yeah. I was in high school. People used to ask me if I was on steroids.
Really?
Bro, I'm just fucking doing the work.
Yeah.
I can't fucking lift
it. Bro. They say all the time. I'm like, no. You can actually get strong from working out daily.
Yeah. It's so similar with me. Like every time I would. All right, so we didn't live in a trailer, so it wasn't that similar. But definitely some struggles here and there. But for me, the physical was always part of it. Like working out, looking good. Like it became part of my my thing because
Yeah.
it brought me to the next. That kind of like brought me to the next level. So I went from not being accepted to all of a sudden like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
So every time we would watch TV or watch a movie, like anytime there's a commercial or something, that's what I'd be banging out.
Yep.
I'd be banging out push-ups and
Same.
stuff. I'd be like, I'm doing it.
That's
like,
it. Every commercial.
Every commercial I'd be banging
Every
out.
commercial.
Yeah.
And my parents would sit on the couch, my siblings would be there, and I'm busting out push-ups mid commercial.
Yeah.
I played video game. I always was a gamer, but I played Madden and Call of Duty even. In Madden, what I would do is I played a lot of Madden. I made top 3 in the world. I was #1 ranked in the world 4 different times.
Yeah, so there's no way. Dude, you better thank your dad for calling out Antonio.
Yeah, right, bro. I was
You're like big in Canada, pro baseball player. Like
I was number
3 in Madden
for 4 years. I was top 3 10 years.
Okay.
Like 10 different separate years.
For 10 years.
For 10 years. What I would do though when I would score,
What are we doing here, bro?
bro, I was gross.
What are we
But
doing?
if I scored, I would do push-ups for the amount that I scored.
Yeah.
If they scored, I'd do sit-ups. So by the end of the game,
You were
it's
jacked.
55-25. I'm like, all right, well, let me bust these out real quick. Let me bust out these abs. All right, next game. And I would just, if I had a rally throughout the night, I played 10 games.
Yeah, monster.
Yeah, I'm going to bed like, oh yeah, I'm tired. There's a vein coming up my neck.
Number 1 in the world.
Number 1, baby. Yeah. But
That's crazy.
there is, to backtrack once to when I was 12, 13, I started lifting in the Antonio hit as well. That was also my first year in school. So I was homeschooled. Bro, I got bullied every day. I went to a all-black school.
And you were the white boy.
I was the white boy.
Yeah.
And my cousin, who's actually white, there was 3 white kids in the whole school. One girl was a special needs girl.
Yeah.
That was my cousin, and then this other girl. I had to fight his fights too, because he was a small white boy. So that changed me as well. We fought every single day. I went to a school where when you fought, you didn't get sent. Unless you did something crazy, you went to juvie or you went back to class.
Yeah.
They didn't want to suspend you because
Everybody would have been
everybody's suspended. And they probably lose funding.
No class today.
Yeah, bro. So we fought every. And I'm not talking about like play fight, bro. This is we had 16-year-olds in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
So I was an 8th grade. I came in the 8th grade. I was a properly aged 8th grader, a young 8th grader. I was 12.
Yeah.
My birthday's in July, and
16-year-olds.
bro, we had 3 17-year-olds in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
One got pushed to 11th grade. He had to take some tests. One got pushed to 10th, and one got pushed out of school.
Wow.
He aged out. They were like, "Yeah, you're shot." And then we still had 6-year-olds in the 6th grade. We had a couple 7-year-olds in the 7th grade. So the 7th grade was bigger than our 8th grade class. Bigger, physically. They were bigger than us. Just bad kids. I think it was bad. So we fought every day. Every day. And these kids were much older than me. My dad had to come up to the school a few times. They're older than my older brother.
Damn.
I couldn't even call my brother to come. Like, nah, they're going to beat you too. They were all just getting stomped out.
Just stayed home.
Yeah, just don't come. Don't
Damn.
come. Yeah, bro, every day.
So that too, man. Like you've gone through.
Yeah, that's where I fought every day, and it was almost like, yeah.
You were just ready.
Every day, you had to fight every day, every single day. I had to fight either for me or for my cousin.
And how do you think that translates to like how you started to become as an individual and then who you are now? Does that all?
Yeah, it all came together.
There's got to be some sort of.
Yeah, because it didn't matter how big you were. I never had any fear. I don't have any, like, I knew what I could do physically. I knew I could do mentally.
Yeah.
I played mental games with people too. Like, because there's 5 siblings, mental toughness starts in the house.
Yeah.
So before I even touch the field with you, I'm gonna be here first. I'm gonna say 5 things I'm gonna find out how to get in your head. Bro, it's fun. I do it for fun. In college, I would mess with our pitchers. We'd do inter squads, and I would get in their head before the game even started, and I go, we got this game. I'm really good at it. Again, I think it's just from being in a bigger family.
Yeah.
But mentally, I could F with people mentally.
Yeah.
For fun.
Okay.
Just as well as I could do them
With your
physically.
brothers, right?
There's not so much because we grew up in it. They can smell it. But
they give it back.
they try. I get them. I still get in their heads. There's certain. I just have to find your button, and I can usually find it pretty quickly. And I just won't stop. And same thing in competition. If I'm playing against you, I'll find out what your button is. And so quick story. This is my boy Keith Zuniga. He's a pitching coach at University of Hawaii.
Okay.
Amazing coach. A coach for Team USA as well. Keith Zuniga. Write the name down. He's gonna be amazing. He's gonna be an MLB coaching.
Nice.
He was our best pitcher. And he threw 92 to 96 two seams. They cut it on your hands. Amazing pitcher. He was at University of Washington, then he transferred over to us. And we did inter squads.
Yeah.
And I would don't come after me, IRS. I would place bets with the other team on because I picked my team. So I was the team captain. I picked the gold team. The other captain would pick the maroon team. And we have a 7-game series. Well, it came down to game 7. And I remember going over to their dugout. Or I had me and my top 2 picks, and we're in the parking lot. I go, listen, they're going to pitch Keith because he pitched game 1. He's their ace. I said, they're going to pitch Keith. When we get in this dugout, we're going to look on that board, and we're going to see it's Keith, and we're going to go nuts. We're going to be so excited that Keith is pitching, okay? And they were like, yeah, we're laughing because he's amazing. And we're scared. Literally, we're scared. But I'm like, all right, no, bro, no. We're going to go in there. We're going to go nuts. Walking in the locker room, and he's sitting there. He had this little routine where he likes to sit, like his chair faced the door. And he's sitting there, he's getting ready, like in his locked-in face. And we walked in, we look at the board, and then we go, let's go! They're pitching, Keith! Yeah, we start giving high fives. And I remember glancing over his face, like I'm bored here. I look over like this, and his face is like what? I'm Keith, and we're like giving high fives. Yeah. I was like, you're done. You're good. Boom, bro. He's one of the most mentally tough people I've ever met in my life. But that statement of what we did right there, we won that series. We chased him in 2 innings, and then they brought in another guy. I pulled my team in. I said, hey, as soon as he touches that bump, start yelling out meatballs. The kid touched. I know I'm not gonna call the kid out, but the kid touched the bump, and we were like, meatballs. He's throwing meatballs, and we ate him up too. And you can see it. There's a look that I love doing. You can see it. You can see it. I know when I got you. And then you're done. I do it in my practice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you do it in practice?
I can do it over the phone. I can do it in Zoom.
If you know what it is.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it in your. If I can say something, hear in your voice, I go, oh, I got you. It's not always an insult. It's not always a degrading.
It's strategically like understanding like what how to have that advancement on in that situation. Wow, that's.
And as an athlete, I'm sure you've been in those situations where you there's someone you trash talk and pulls them completely out of their game.
Yeah. No, the mindset, like for sure, like how you can.
Bro, I can do it, and I can turn it off and on. The other thing that hit caused in me, I can flip a switch. I'm always been a laughy. You'll always catch me laughing. I'm never upset, bro. But there was like a demon living in me for a while, bro. Lifting all that weight, I couldn't do. I wasn't doing that. But I'd black out and the weight would just go up, and in those fights in middle school. Bro, I'd black out and the fight's done, and next period here comes another one.
So what is that?
I don't know.
What's the demon?
I call it a
shadow.
I don't know, bro. I tell I was like, listen. It's funny because when you're down there, I would I'm not saying I'm calling on a demon. There was something like a dragon in me. There was like a beast in me that I would just like, yo, it's time. Like, hey, we're under this weight. It's 400 pounds. I'm not lifting this. Like, help me out here. And I just pull from somewhere deep inside of me. I did that for all my fights. I would do in the football. When I played football, I'd be in my stance in the backfield, smiling. And then when the ball was hiked,
it was over.
It's over. And I controlled that switch. I was able to flip it on, flip it off, flip it on, flip it off. I controlled that.
Very interesting. Josh. Like out of all the things you've gone through, that ultimately create who you are now. Like I can see where.
That's it, man.
I can see the depth of who you are as the individual and why you are as successful as you are.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the story.
So let me ask one more thing. We'll keep it brief. The relationship aspect when growing a business or in general, right? Even if people are working like they're, the 9 to 5 sort of thing, but the relationship aspect, how important is that? Going back to, with Kaylin as far as being the supportive person and vice versa. And then what are some challenges for people that, may not have yet reached that level in a relationship or are looking for something like that in a relationship while growing a business or just trying to be a successful other person or other half in a relationship?
That's a great question.
What would be some recommendations or perspective from you?
Bro, that is a great question. I mean, all your questions are really good and insightful. That one, I think too many people are chasing just looks, or chasing just money, or chasing just something. Look for that. You're looking for a life partner, someone that's going to make you better, someone that's supposed to make your life easier in a way. Obviously, it gets harder because you're dealing with this person every single day. I mean, there's hard times.
No, of course.
But you're looking for a partner. Don't look for a pet. Don't look for an item. That's my recommendation is look for someone you can build with. I love my wife because if I need to unload a U-Haul, I don't need to call you to come help me. My wife can lift the couch. Like, bro, but seriously, like when I went into this, I wasn't, there's a few girls that my dad laughed. I was talking to him about one of my former girlfriends, and I was like, Dad, I can't marry this girl. If I have kids with her, they won't be athletes. And he started, like, did exactly that. He started laughing. He's like, it's not about that. I was like, nah, it is. So we're going to go ahead and cut this one off. But I was looking for the package. I wanted a full package. And you're going to get, can I say, all girls are crazy, right? So they're all going to have a little something.
And guys, too.
And guys. Guys are crazy, too.
Well, fucking nuts.
Especially lazy guys that think they deserve the world.
Yeah.
But I know what I bring. And I need someone to bring that same effort. I give my best every single day. With or without you, I'm going to do it. Like, I don't need you to tell me to bring my best. Yeah. I'm self-driven. I'll do it myself. I've done it from day one, with the Lord's help. But I want someone who brought that same energy. I can't be the one pulling you because eventually that's going to make me tired. And that's what a lot of these guys, and because a lot of these guys aren't even self-pushing themselves. They're good enough. And so they're good enough to get a good enough. Well, you combine two goods enough, you're just not that good.
Good enough.
Yeah, you're just good enough, and then eventually it's gonna wear on you because her good enough's not gonna be good enough, and then you're just good isn't enough to pull her feeling bad, and vice versa. Yeah. So you gotta get someone that's gonna make you whole, and not believe that you're a whole in and of yourself, and you just need to fill this little gap. No, it's like the yin and yang. Like, hey, you're a full half. You need another full half to make you whole. Too many people are just looking for a piece. And I don't think you should treat your spouse, man or woman, as a piece. It's another half of your puzzle, of your whole.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice: is get someone who's driven like you are, someone that you don't have to pull back on the map, but you're willing to, and someone who would do the same for you. You don't have to keep me accountable, but you're willing to.
Yeah, 100%. And I also believe in just being clear and having clarity for yourself as an individual of exactly who am I and what do I want and what do I need, and then am I just good enough from as the individual, right? So it's like, how do you expect to have someone that's full and then you yourself aren't full yet?
Exactly.
And I think that's a big piece to just reflect on, and then continuing to figure out who you are.
Yeah, and I know you have a lot of young men watching, so to the young men out there, be the best you can be. There isn't another option. I mean, if you just take that mentality into every day, being the best man you can be, that's waking up, that's doing your responsibilities, go to the gym, eat healthy, have a good mindset. You're not looking at women as notches on the belt, looking for a wife, looking for someone you can spend your life with. And constantly building towards that. If you work the 9 to 5, as you mentioned, that's fine, but have aspirations. Don't just get stuck in that, the hamster wheel. Yeah, 9 to 5 is great. And again, there's
just be the best.
Just be the best.
Yeah.
Be the best. Give it your all on everything that you do, and it'll come back.
And it'll translate to everything else that you're doing. Yeah, man. I'm still working on that, man. For me, I feel like there's certain things that because I've been good enough.
Yeah.
But I've always had the mentality that's not good enough for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I'm still
but that's a good thing.
Where the fuck?
But that's good to have that mindset of but I know it's not good enough.
Yeah.
That means you're driving for that perfection.
Right. Or the goal of
trying to be great.
Where I want to be, where I see myself actually being, as the individual.
But you can see you're actively doing it. Like the way you handle yourself, the way you talk, the way you encourage people. This alone, it's active. So if you're not getting encouragement, I can see it, and I'm sure everyone around you can see it, especially in our business group. Yeah, man, you put off the energy of, hey, I get it. I'm not perfect. I'm not, but every day I'm working towards to be the best version I can be. You show it.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate it. Okay, so last 3 questions.
Yep.
Biggest regret?
Biggest regret.
Yeah, this one's the one. This one got John too. John Gilbert, I don't know if you listened to it. He was, it's like, damn. It still lives with him. He's like, which one?
Yeah, I know which one. Regrets. Biggest regret. I don't know if I have any regrets. I don't know if I have any regrets. I can't think of I because I've always tried to choose the right decision. I can't think of a decision that I would take back.
Okay.
Or something that I guess the biggest so those mental games I'd play with people.
Yeah.
I think I played too many mental games with people in high school, and it might have crushed some people. So like that same situation with Antonio, where my life went up, his life might have went down.
Yeah.
I don't know actually what happened to him in that moment or from that period on.
Yeah. So you did that a couple of times.
I did that a couple of times to people, and because I like to win big, I would make sure they knew it. I ran into I thought I had great relationships with everyone on my football team in high school. And I ran into this kid that was on my football team, and I was so happy to see him, and he hated me. And it was the first time it's ever happened to me. Like in my 33 years of life, everyone I've ever ran into in my life is always, I felt like there was a mutual love there. Yeah. And I ran into this kid, bro, in the gym, and he hated me. And in the moment, I'm like, what? How, bro? We were boys. We're on the team together. Yeah. And then I thought back to moments where he was strong, big. He's mixed too, and so I assorted my dominance because it was my team. He transferred in from like Washington, and it was DC. It was my team, and you're the new light skin buff kid. Nah, man, like I'm gonna do the Antonio to you real quick and make sure you know it. So I put him on his head, and I made sure he knew it. And then I remember possibly disrespecting him in school, in the school setting around other peers. Those are regrets that I have. I if there's anyone that I did offend, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But I know I've offended some people, and not knowing, like just being me, going like,
unconscious level of like,
I was unconsciously, disrespectfully winning. Yeah. And in my head, it was just winning though.
Right.
Yeah. And so I guess there's a few of those still out there that I may owe apologies to, but he's one of them. I was like, bro, he was pissed. I was there with my cousin. And my cousin's like, bro, that dude wants to kill you. I said, I know, I don't know why. And now you know why. I know why. Not the hate that he has for me, but like there were times where I'm like, okay, I can see.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've similar regrets. I guess it's just around that.
Yeah. So I never want to hurt somebody or make them feel lesser, unless I'm playing you in a sport or something. But I think I did that probably one too many times.
Okay. All right. Biggest then achievement outside of family and kids.
Biggest achievement, man. Going to law school, I know it sounds cliche. That was crazy. I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been in law school. And I dominated. I dominated law school. I dominated the bar. I passed it. It wasn't even close. I committed my whole life to it though. That is because I shouldn't have been there. I hate school. I hated school. I remember showing up because I was an athlete. So playing Division I baseball, you're the best. You play that's top. It's the top tier. So we're facing kids throwing 100. We're facing kids throwing 98, 96 with curveballs that disappear. Well, when you go to law school, it is the Division I of academics. So there's kids with photographic memories. And the way law school grades work, not everyone can get an A. So you literally compete against the kid next to you. If you get an A, someone else has to get an F. And then the rest of us get C's. So you're literally competing against kids or dudes or people that are out of your league. I'm sitting, this kid named Joe Barry, shout out to Joseph Barry, smartest person I know. The kid had a photographic memory. So I got books, my laptop, someone else's notes, my notes, another person's notes, the teacher's notes, and I still don't know the answer. And then this kid has a clear desk and he's sitting back and he has his hoodie on like this. And the teacher goes, professor goes, hey, Mr. Barry, give us the summary of this case. And then off the tongue, for 20 minutes he's talking about God knows what, I'm still looking for it in my notes. Yeah, what page is that on? I don't have that highlighted. That was my biggest accomplishment. But because I knew that I wasn't special like that, I didn't have that gene, bro, I studied my butt off. I forgot people's names, people I grew up with for the bar. I committed my life to it. I went to bed listening to lectures. The lecture would stop, I'd wake up, push play again. Yeah, bro, and your childhood people, friends, family, I forgot their names because I didn't have enough capacity to keep all this. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. The bar is crazy. The pass rate's like 60%. So a lot of people fail, and I couldn't afford to fail. So in that moment, I had no money. I took out a loan to pay for my expenses. My wife was teaching, but she wasn't making enough for us to pay for all our expenses. It was during COVID. So I had to get I had to get another loan to extend our payments because I couldn't start employment because they pushed the bar back twice. it was pass, or I don't. That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you have like $200,000 in debt. If you don't pass,
Yeah.
I have no current money.
Right.
I can't start working.
Right. And you have very limited plasma.
And no, at that point,
there's no plasma.
At that point, it's just it's blood and water coming out. And yeah, man. And it was in my mind, it was life or death. That was that was it. And then that led to the rest of these accomplishments: marrying my wife, having the family that I have in the firm, and everything. Yeah. The ball.
That's fucking huge, right?
That was huge.
And that's what, 2020?
2020.
So it's 5 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy. And I actually took the bar with COVID.
Wow.
I lost 42 pounds.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Luckily, I was the biggest I've ever. Like, I was yoked. I didn't give up weight. So during the bar prep, everyone kept saying, "Hey, if you work out, don't stop, because it'll mess with your memory."
Yeah.
So I didn't stop. I got huge. I was 222 pounds of pure steel.
It's fucking muscle.
But then COVID hit, but it worked out. I thank God, because if I didn't have 42 pounds to lose, who knows what would have happened?
Right.
And I shrunk down to a little twig.
Damn.
But I passed the bar.
Damn. That's crazy.
You know?
Less than 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Going on 6 years here. It's been a blessing ever since.
Dude,
Definitely
makes me happy for you.
I appreciate it, man.
It makes me fucking happy to hear that.
I'm trying to do something. I want to change. I care about my great grandkids. Like, I don't know too many people that think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave something for them. That's another thing. I think some people don't they don't want to have kids, and I go, man, my whole future isn't about me.
Yeah.
Like I want to be the legacy that passed down.
Mm-hmm.
My dad passed down a form of a legacy, but I want to pass more. I want to pass more down.
Yeah.
He'd always say be better than him. So that's why I plan on passing down better.
You know, lately I've been thinking about that more and more, because like I'm like, but for me, I feel like there's still things I need to accomplish.
Yeah.
For myself, before I can like provide.
Yeah.
You know, because I always felt like, you know, if you're gonna have kids, and again, for me, it's just my personal opinion. If you're gonna have kids and you're thinking about it, I think you have to be in a good position.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so you're not lacking.
Yeah.
You know, but again, you know,
when's the perfect time?
It's the perfect time, and then if you know you provide everything, then who do they become?
That's the other thing. That's the other thing, because my kids are growing up on the beach here, and money isn't an issue, and they eat whatever they want, and so sometimes
you gotta
I gotta make it hard. Yeah, like my daughter will fall, and I'll go, you got to pick yourself back up on that one, because I need you to know you got to get back up.
Come on, you see that girl over there, number 5 girl? I want you to go over there and tackle her.
She's gonna be like, but daddy,
right.
I'm not getting off this pony.
Okay, so last question. What's something that you're working on right now to change? And when we talk about, you know, for the better of you, your situation, and your projection of where you're going.
So, not change, but speed up, I would say.
Okay.
I'm trying to build my firm to a point where I can live that life, where I train my attorneys to be extensions of me, and they were giving the service to our clients that I give. I give a lot. All my clients get my cell. I give a lot of access to me, and I'm requiring that of my attorneys. But that 40, I want to be at 40, and I want to be on my 100 acres with my family. Call me if you need me, you know, but you can trust my attorneys, but it's my firm. That's really what I want to be with my family. I want to be with my family. So my goal is to make that happen as soon as possible. So not change, but I want to accelerate being with my family.
Okay.
And I'll do
Which ultimately changes your situation.
Which also changes my situation.
Yeah, like in terms of what time spent.
Yep.
Where
my schedule, those 24 hours, how can I move those around? Right now, I'm putting a lot into the business. So the sacrifice is, I'm making the physical sacrifice, some family time as well. It's to grow this business to where I can not be full hands-on.
Yeah, projectively, how many years are you seeing?
Bro, we're ahead. God's been great. We're finishing off year 2 with numbers that.
Yeah, this is your second year.
This is my second year, bro. And last year, so in my previous firm, last year I did numbers in my first year better than my previous firm did in the year that I left. And they were already around for 8 years at that time.
That's crazy.
That's why we have two more attorneys, because I'm not. As you said before the podcast, you asked me what my net worth was. It's not where it could be, because I put it all back into the business because of where I want to be. I can go slow. I could pocket a lot more money and reach my dream in 10 to 15 years, or I can reinvest my money back into me. I'm investing in me. I trust me, and be there in 5 years.
I'd rather 5.
Yeah, 5 sounds a lot better.
It's already been 5. So
and where
it's
I
a
came
10-year
from,
career,
sacrificing what's I'm not sacrificing.
Right, I'm living well.
Rewind to those tunas and crackers one more time.
Right.
So it's a sacrifice. I could have more, and I think a lot of people choose that route, and you never get to where you could be. I'd rather invest in me, and that's where we're at right now, and it's going really good. We're having another great year. Next year's gonna be crazy. Yeah.
Good, bro.
That's it, man.
My homie.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you heard it, man. Any last words for anybody that's listening that may be going through something that you've gone through?
I keep your head up. So I go to Reverb Church again in World Golf Village in St. Augustine. I would say find that community, find a church. If you feel like you're isolated or you're alone, get in a church. No matter what, it's a positive environment, but know that you're loved. Know that you can do whatever you put your mind to, but you have to put the work in. You're not going to get success without the work. So you saw me post something, you mentioned it earlier about the pastor, and he literally just gave like a roadmap to success. And it was like, if you show up on time and you care about what you're working on and you actually do it, you'll succeed above 95% of the population. It's not a hard recipe success. I'm a lawyer now, so people think, oh yeah, you can say that from where you're at. But yeah, I put my mind to something. I worked as hard as I could to it, and I dedicated to it, and I've accomplished it.
And you're continuing to get better.
And it's every day. Don't be content. Don't settle for where you're at. You don't have to settle. Yeah, man. Someone said the other day, your life can be as great as you want it to be. Tim Tebow said that when he gets to heaven, he wants God to acknowledge that he was who God meant him to be. He didn't want to be. He wanted to be recognized by God as the guy who I created you to be this man. But there's too many people showing up as this person. You could have been this. You could have been a king amongst men, but you came in as a hobo. So I would say strive to be that king. Strive to be the best version of yourself.
Let's go.
That's it.
What a powerful episode.
Yeah, man.
Sponsored by Josh Johnson Law. Thank you again. Thank you again for coming up,
brother.
Spending some time. If you are injured in a car accident,
give me a call.
Give Josh
904-441-8447. J. Johnson Law Firm.
That's right. You can give Josh a call. If you're in the Florida, right?
Florida, anywhere in Florida.
If you're not, you've got people.
Yeah, we got a network. So the same trusted network, same thing you mentioned earlier, that community. I have a community of trusted attorneys, and I know that's not a phrase that's easily said. But I go out of my way to meet amazing attorneys, and that's who I refer my friends and family to.
Right, and I would say if you're the person of influence to be in that, like, there's no question.
There's no question.
If you tell me to call X, Y, and Z,
yep.
I'm gonna call.
It's an extension of my. I put my name on it.
And then so one bonus, if someone gets into a car accident, what's the first 3 things they should do?
Okay, look at your injuries. If you are not dying, or if there's not a bone sticking out, don't go to the ER. They're going to take all your money. So if you're not dying or bone sticking out, don't go to the ER. If you're sore or hurt, find a primary care, or find an urgent care, or call an attorney. Call 911 second. So you acknowledge your injuries. Call 911. Wait for them to show up before talking to the person behind you who hit you or whatever it may be, discussing liability. If they do come up to you, you can acknowledge if they're hurt or not, but don't discuss liability. And then lastly, so acknowledge your injuries, call 911, and then I would say call me or call an attorney, because they're going to make sure that you don't make any other mishaps from there, and they can possibly get you into a medical provider that will give you care rather than just taking all your money.
Your money that you have allocated to you for that care.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, you guys heard it first here. Thank you so much, Josh Johnson, for giving us some gold, man.
That's it. That is my bank. I'll give it to if anyone wants to reach out, they can. I don't mind mentoring. I'll give you. I have no secret. That's all my secrets. Like, I'll give it to you. I'll tell you exactly what it is. But success, you got to have that hard work.
You just got to do it.
You just got to do it. The work has to get done.
The work. Get through it and just get it done no matter what.
No matter what.
All right, you guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. And don't forget, nothing changes until you do. Peace.
See ya.
Let's go.